Teal bodo susray بدول مع كلاي ربقول بلاو بيلوم إبر كلاي مرمسيل بلاو President Senator Locons Paules marugul senators Speaker Anastasio marugul delegates Governors Speakers Leitors togubet el susrid morar bek الأذر بلاو ngara blur ayal morhot charigi mangara ikla blur bela la sils mal chado mutial teal mal mrenga suli adra media no sé lo mangiat Mr. Gosolei Miss Leilani Claim diregal ngwakla tiso del waisera blue lo sea no mangiat la sils sin artiang Minister of Finance Minister Udui Minister Obiang Minister Education Jenkins, Minister State Aitaro, Minister Matul, Madiregal Acting Director Tamadik Hinaplugu. Magada Manmering Asul Nartian, I'm sure I'm to a germ Hardik briefly go the update Rigida the Bora Germangel. Ma Cotrule Kidam Sing Manania, Claude Coriol, Namra Ablura Taiwan. So we want to wish, of course, send our prayers and sympathies, especially to the people and the President of Taiwan during this difficult time of the latest earthquake. We know as of today there's 13 that lives were taken, and of course 6 still unaccounted for. But our prayers are with those families and the people of Taiwan during this very difficult time. Two Taiwanese in Palau this past week that lost their lives. One at a hotel and the other one diving. And we also want to extend our condolences and sympathies to their families during this time. We mal السؤال المغطي كلول السنجترين ما يا رامنا مودي بوسرا درولت اللي ابغيو وان fantastic Anastasio غروبا سيدنا سينغانجل توبتس ال treasure. He's a national treasure ablur belong. Selda se fantastic vane sel first el todo la activo los que hace Samael. I think he made us all laugh and made us happy. Ding ganga rubaga donangalil, of course en rubaga rabluring esar. Ganga milela right after Mamad 1945. Cuando remembering el time. Tilov da skura esar elementary school 1959. Malmon Malmera Mizenti elementary intermediate school at 1964. We were saying no sé el mora Kwame no attended el trade school and Milsuba omlas architecture. Dibrura lungsel degree in 1969 and Garubaga Alilut el Merbelau Emlomura Orel Mashor Gidar other Belau. Selgotem Laurela Dodolim Sensei. The Sensei school in the MOC. So from 1970 to 1973, le Sensei vocational instructor era MOC at the time. We were saying no instructional media specialist. Sila nga saying yeah by milali cellular printing or MOC. Milali cell dasing printing department. Se dimna kaldil stober saying direk waluli aurora uktora video ma audio. Amal kora ulela media ra blur beral direk. Ngila training ngira blur Hawaii ma later Fiji in those fields. Emlarsel Molmutra closures el media center PCC 2004. You know, with technology things change. Word processing and printing change look model dos pairing ra school. But selu cloud yin ka ruba ka igel kli bela ma tretela da tinga da other bela ulo asing national treasure to igel shoring ra radio kadamal samra orang sini igel sode la togor bela kadamra asulera igel radio station no se recording ma igel dimro model el history rigide edola bol wilo sisak mora arangal igel ingaruba ka adiregal nani atelu serve as a member of board of Social Security for over 11 years, 1995 and more, 2006. Idiri kami adala Palau Language Commission, adala board a museum, idiri adal sel Palau Historical and Cultural Advisory Board. Nga sel uktungura tetela klibela ma klibela argideng. يا ترى ملا كلوتو تلل يجل أو تعالم كلاود يعني لون سوريد الملول ورتيال كليب لا وريد الجيا قط كلوتو تلل ديرغل المال ملا كلا أنغر ألل رسل الأمل أسل and publication رسل كرسل بلاو سواسل سيل first البلاوان dictionary رجيد جيد أسبرين رجال سكول رجيد مقدار مرال المرينا سوليل جيرل سي دي جيد أم بينا سنجار روبا سيل أغوت المرأة دي سيرين تقول بلا السيل بلا إنجا سيل روليد مقدار مو سنجار كلال ديمو أور مدو المقدار منوريات تلقى لوبنجل المرايل كوك مرينا سولير سيل يقلاو مرارين مرجيد ما 2016 الكامبين غمبس ليلاني يجي مرار رجال البيك البلول يا ما مغدول مدة سيرة باي سوليرين سيدا سوليرين سنة ديك مرال ميسر سيجيد بتوع يجال ستوري رادي روي ما بتوع لونيل الذدو المغلي كريجيد ندينغول جيسا كريجيدا أتلا لكلانgar من سيرا 2007 تيجي لا تتلل ناريس اللي تقل من ذيب الفانتاستيك تيامل دي جمرال يسل اللي تقل مريلا ديرغل قال روباغا من أضرب لي لا سيرة 2011 أنيل التين مو إبجو من أولا مالدي بلون مساعدة وادي رو أي ما أبو جورا إبجو را أو أي دي كذا مرال المؤتني الراسل نيا أوتيس الكليب إلى أرجيد مليونيل أدام ليونيل مليونيل أدام ويل هسبند نرا نويل بيل هاي ويل بو عمره لازم ترى ويل دول تراكني ويل positive role model را وكيرا در other بيلام ويكرل other blue بيلام نعم ملودي بسرعة درون لدر سرا March 17 2024 منور أغضون دي كده مالغل تنغات ترى التريال بطوغل الميدانيين ديركو بنجث وغدا مرينا سوللا مؤتنيا بإير ناتالي أرباي أناستاسيو مارغل جيل التريال ديركو بنجث رماري كولبي أناستاسيو جوزيف أناستاسيو ما أرغل سأل ما أرغل دير أماو أبول ماو باميلا أناستاسيو ألفونسو ما تيتي باو لافلين أناستاسيو بينا مربيبي رينيرا رومانا أناستاسيو إغناشيو راسينغل أناستاسيو سبيكر أناستاسيو ميريام أناستاسيو أناستاسيو ليندا أناستاسيو آن ماري أوتونغ Loretta Anastasio, Materul Ngalgel, Ngariam Alfonso, and Ramlig Alfonso. Mar Batol Loolel, Mara Arudal Mar Arangalgir. Ngoyu seguida mo yimosaing ra proclamation algira nga roba mo odang si tial nia umrala sing kedro tingil tugobet sel adra boy mal mrenga sulel a contribution nia dimrogolo bangeda kadam mrenga sula YouTube ma aigal bekel tretela medial nia mlasel recorda aigal la luz ma habla el contributor mora au ka klibela orgib ma tretela dar adra belo. He's truly a treasure. Diregal mga isinin lang kada madangil wasing andera kan pakteri de mga iganias and more veterans. Mosil malal sila nga rablur belo. Ma tara blada bagat piluro lo material Veterans Association rablur belo. Malasam lol dage madangil wase tarwata Tiger rogul other belau, ngar alsel belau, my krel belau, the kergere, emlesur bro ingarang, not tala soldar blue rambrigan. Cloud to tell about the yellow urling, and cloud to tell a yellow castle, dollar, no sir, veterans are blue belau. Maybe Garbella, Edrigam, Trigatal, joined the Veterans Association, Gadora, say, moral officer president. Bo kita mo collect agad information mang officer gid open and malagal information a number the contact ni 767-2403 of course email gid of course president at palaupresident.info ma agigo at palaupresident.info agida asil send again information al may so we can reach out to start and compile informational help our veterans. Iti ada di announcement mora atirgel ngar sel belau, matirgel ngar ekrel belau. Ile tara amle onti de mablu ramlegela ase ay gasel bonil service en mobiot tertigal veterans ngar ekrel ablu belau mutil merme. Mutlo to la bodo de ido il dois mal waset ngargere agare possibility soril me mabolo na kasi magrabol ng atmok robis magrabol service tiralat sila berablo belam to trel el mergida direga la adar bela bodo kasi tigal veteran segit mal wangara idisir en arger bolse del mal recognizer tira de direga de helper tira direga el temlo mregal sande ya PPUC wal ultibdis el announcement rase tamo raise cell rate rafforcens real almel longim el buil mlania teledr tel nombre gal sandel mitra ar staff ra PUC maradravor de a sera gotrurior en no sé el return a CEO ma a chairman of board ma minister of finance maradra piwa no sé del mutel mitro ventrir of course minister artiam sel mo help pergidan di kadam loni tertilo ase gamlu telmo mesertial kami amla terklile adra ablu arara delo ase tel tora solar gora agira longak tarara la adengin de longa seri e kami agora dim nomel elertia gamlu telmo ngil magataklil mergida adra ablu mang neutuir seguid meeting agora no meseri PUC matabdinga tingel la mungela regulator lo ase why saying the adoruta egal rates mo July 1st negida already dam na trok la egal rate ra April 1st mo June dori lo tirak rafpak emrania kida gira no mesertial sel so mesra di el asils ya di el asils ay moralu ma adeiser muy moralu mengira del nome señor hace al sumo como malara alura sils en agira el minus alura de iser ora goda gal teblong en sky mol right de gal girel de gal girel mari ala alura tenga plus al mutlimra artia ay agira el motma yeruli sel arun la dengim como la se parte requirement la idea del message regulation تجيب مغتقلي مثل سل لجي سانغ تيال يلا دنجين مو بلغتق واسين سل لجي سانغين تيجي على لا سيلز تيجي على لا ديسير أيام مطمع تيجي على لا أدنجير سيجي اللي قوم ده سؤال رابلا أو سبيرسي ده سين مغرام بلغتق المرتين متى مران مثال واسين غادر توب درسلو الأصلي كده أساس الساندر عملا ميمو دم نصير ده توديس السبلمنتال مرة olvira galulaw mlamu la regular session kada manilo asing arigel mal patokol close to trail ngar alsel o musindri ang esun mora adrablu ngesura child raising subsidy lo bara dar taklug mo dar taklug emrur ngil mo o rarogul ngal garbelaw tribal rolin mo bayot dirigal el ngesun mortriel التيرا أمنا غلق رأوغل مرقرير ديملا أساس مالو إمبنشون مالو دي غوريري سيسل أغام الدار تكلو المراربك لهذا كديري غنغاريس التريال ملسورة تروي ميم التلا المرغد التلا أما ملارس التاكس ريفاندرز الفورست 8,000 in taxes that they paid إذا رجل غريجل بتوغل جيد أسبيل ورترا إيجال كاغروس المينستري جيد الكلوتو تريلا على for example hospital جيد غريا نورسل بلاد هاير تير غريا additional جيد مو هاير تير أبليلا بوليس is the same education is the same so قدمال دي ماليرا هذا رول بيرا غلولا لو سه تيكلوتو تريل supplemental جيراد المريض اللورتير سلغوت المريض السبيلين دريان غاريا نريد المير مرافع فيستيفال اوف باسيفيك ارتس a micro games لورتير تيال اليوسان ان so we're hoping or saying موسيل مريض المغتمقلا ما أقدر أبلوها داخل سالمو وسوي بقارندير قد دريغل عمره لو saying سيل ديلا باستورا ولا say there's a time for everything ما يقادين غاريا تيمل كده عم بينيرو هسه أولى كده partly كده منيرة supplemental المورتيجي التايم there was two things من هذا المساس full year operation tax reform and compact rate that came into place ما يقدر تبلغ عملا مبرق ما قلت يا الsupplemental عملو دارس ده قدم ده سه يقام كلوتو تلقيه ده مطمقنا دين جرين غريا أو دور ده دولاب المطمقنا مقدا سيد هسه قدم نسمي أو دور بدقت مكلي أدري قال ترى قوم راسين نامو تايم ما قتتلو يني هذا بلا كده عملوا رئيس أو دودير هذا government ما national government ما state government دي دري قال رئيس أو دودير هذا private sector مقدر مال لو نيتر هذا البيل قالوا له عشان نامو قل ذي البيل عم صادر تيال تورا minimum wage نريا بيل هاوس نريا سينات نريا بيل سينات نرى هاوس إدري قال لي ديمقراطية supplemental بدي أقول لك تاسين ندي مرور تلمي مدة signing داسون نامو time of course the proposing is at least more follow تيال ordering نامو government دي قد سيل دي أنا سرابيتان أو بس سرابيتان عندي أسيقل ديك مناسبة قال رجول كده مغتمقلا أيقا غوياس مثل دلهم مسألة ما بقر ذيل يسيا تسبعتين لا ماكس مورس وسي سمغرا مينستر جينكينز كغورا روبا غرا لون سيل دونا سا دلهم لغدا موياسا أريسيل ما يل دولا اسم المرور روبوي أدي مغايا ستيا ريسيل وما بقر ذيل anyway دي جيجي دي بويس وسي of course April 25 موري سيل سوراريد كده مودي بسرة إلى الميلويك كده مرة قوامرة كلوغو المهم كده دور سيل conference وتقرأ sustainability conference رقوام وري رسالة كده مرة Greece الموت المرة following week so with that بايك open out لغير لاغير مانير شولا
Ali. Two time Mr. President, ministers, declaro ng artero ko. President, I'll start with the solar because you just so say que el papel la a chairman of PPUC tiene que post la Facebook page of the president. Como mentioned la sepa July, and then the new IPP rates will come online. Ako omisingil in ako visually omisingil siyang, so there will be a third column, basic rate, fuel rate, and then IPP rate. And then which tells me say kita amo wasing telal sen sa mo IPP rate. So you add those three, and then you come up with monthly billings for electricity. Or maybe hindi ka understand the economics of it, so maybe you can provide that.
So, that would be even more confusing. Cell important, the cell the calculator tial AFPAC.
I see.
AFPAC cell adjusted fuel adjustment rate. Hala dito mo cell AFPAC lo, wasim kala calculator. AFPAC cell total expense. Rala de cell mo si sa bringir. Kung usel total de cell. Emro kung usel amount tra dengil ben producerin mul divide ni mas usel cost per kilowatt.
I see.
I see. I think beotel lom sodela atiagit. Mlani le costra de isel meso ise bertel arala atel dengil mururi. Edri ngani costra IPP meso is baral tel dengi. Mung tel total malsum le 400,000 for example arala IPP e 5 million arala de iser. E godo aigal teblon mo let's say 5.4 million e un tel 17 million kilowatts el ben producing and we'll divide it am scout price per kilowatt. That should be the how you calculate over what it costs for a quarter or some. So depend on how much solar was charged. Teral diesel was charged. I am what math and you have the rate. Seguida alagang mal mo confusing. Seguida sell bila nga ako kumra sa sell fuel rate. Don't sell fuel rate, sell AFPAC. That's the way it should be calculated. Ma part ra giren mo mrunya mo adjust sa regulation and mo tautani mo dekal confusing. Dekal giren nga separate charge nga tel bitang. Nang giren ro mesin se ngari adura sel se ngari adura ade sa ay gamot mage e mas kausel la dengir ko.
I guess sel ko ramle confusion ra kasi 12% ang largel may arala di ala sales ang arala nga sige dal dumang abalu ako ra miligi mo mga
I see. Gira dal mom ngelo ase sige dal hindi ko babil. What is it called? The energy rate? Or
basic tariff.
Hindi kaya to, ngari sel el wal say so I wanna get cover about distribution cost say wal fixed cost. Why say sel imo wal cover ay gagi dele arala alu fuel mung tial producer tial dengi angara sales angara diesel me ngira ngar segid o ka hindi a problem regulation gida singira mo tabdil mo separate hindi kasi hindi tiya besra our spelangal kilowatt malsum kamlat tabdil lo RC lo RTL imora charge e bro singira mo reduce ngal arala alu imla mo gigarel alu almost peri. I see. So I think the transparent process say amrura dengi angara sales angara diesel me ay gamot mage otob diesel arala afpa and so sige the energy I guess the energy cost
President naka-mention na say kom lao meeting member of the PUC and I'm assuming la sit kasi I'll calculate that del PSL energy rate del PSL el proposed rate del kuklan kuran holda itamle take into account del issue lang hindi how it's reflected on the bill al ubeng ngaring they need to recalculate dimla kalkurak wise kala sit tamla calculated yan
okay so first explanation marang ang uldur staff to sa tiya team lagi implementing na last year June makasi or November there the tigam sa nga sa tia already tariff from gimlem establishing nagiram lotungi hindi ako kasi hindi kami you fail to otin mara other ablulo kasi ngrasel reduction or tial alala alu based tial el dengil molari nasils. Well, one of the problems sa calculation or tier el blood of tigari ato triga amlangu tial total alu e divide ni ra adengil producer ni the producer ni el dortrari emlabe se lo hace nani solar emne provider tial el dengi. Actually, it's a mistake number. Let's they're coming back later or sisabringil makasi tia mistake. You've obviously made a mistake. Go back, correct it. I got every quarter of mortab. So July. Most of these will correct the MOS or other blue. You made a mistake. Admit you made a mistake, and let's correct it.
Understand the law say tell power tell cellular tell IPP selungi layang at malungi layang at malola cloud energy solar. The turn off maybe the generators. I gave it the tal mentioner ni chairman PPUC na presiding say ay gigita mo cost savings melang ay kang every quarter calculator say gid o turingil divide yan aralalo
say that's the suggestion we've made to them say change our regulation on mawai say gid bora actual cost ara solar ma they say motmak e sige da otabdi sel arala dengi in sel afpak see that suggestion. So they're hopefully by July, them not adjust their regulation, more reflect their cell and moral cost. The other things, we have a system that calculate based on 6 months ago. Aligidam rule of rate lang based rala alura 6 months ago. Tial alua maybe a table yadro sell time. That's one of the suggestions. I say go back and look at it. I said just 1 month behind the minister. Right? That's one of the things that they're going to look at in adjusting the regulation. Like, sige daruli marat rablo moran nilo say. Ngara malu ok plam tengal alala adengi diri ngarba. Elang ok plam masara alu adengi diri kamran morio. Ungira la tiblo gedi say gidam arada mo understand. I said it's related. I think it's celebrate gas station. I understand. I arala alu rela okirela arala dengi girel marwa lamas arala alu. Diselable awana yang memberi understand.
The last clarification. Ela kami kasing kinil change sa regulation. Ngaral PUC at change sa regulation. Alu mga diangot alala niya kung ngaral change sa regulation.
Na piwa.
Piwa?
Ah.
So the president.
So and that takes time. That's why I say hold the ilan rogun morul mungil majula implement.
So the presidente. Gusto nga kamo na minister finance. Minister man lang isel clone disruption ng mga government the print type checks and that was because of cyber ransomware. This update that boil was a where are we from that issue? Kadamla back in full operation, and did we ever catch anybody who did that or sulang?
Thank you for the question. Yes, we did have a system interruption. We were able to recover within a week, and we were able within that week to issue payroll using the system. Since then, we have continued to improve security in our system and continue to operate at full capacity for our system. So it was a good test for us, and our procedures, our backups, our security protocols were all very effective, and we're very happy to report that. This type of disruption can happen for any reason. Could be a hardware failure. It could be a communication failure, such as fiber optic line gets cut, or it could be any type of disruption. But we feel comfortable in the way we've set up the finance system, that our backups, our disaster recovery, our business resumption plans are adequate for our needs in case these challenges do present themselves in the future.
So there was a very detailed article online yang mention raw sa itial a sistema alam niya employee alam le open ra malware, and then that's how it's infected. Same way say give you.
It's quite common, and I'm sure almost everybody who uses email frequently and goes online to any website will often experience a strange email that comes in that you don't recognize who is sending, or sometimes it looks like somebody who you know that is sending you an attachment, and then you click on it, and what happens is there is some program that gets installed on your computer. It may not be immediately obvious, but sometimes these programs are disruptive, and they can shut down your computer, so where it's unusable, you have to replace it, or they attack specific data, or they can take that data and share it publicly, or they kind of can take over your identity. And I personally have that problem right now with Facebook. There is another account for myself, and I don't have a government account for Facebook, and they are out there, pretending they are me, and they actually have more followers than my Facebook page. So go figure. But it can happen, and happens a lot. Not everybody reports it. When it happens to the government, we need to find out why it happened and what they were after.
The cultural education about this, I mean, these things happen. Cultural, give them a set tiamral mumudum. Tiok taram kamadal na morira bulad maulang kadim sa cybersecurity. Cultural, kidra atid malsodeng gidal dispaigan masin. Especially other order government, order PPC, order regal agencies. Agirin mal mo korigi klase email mo open ang largel me flash drive mo sis bring largel me. Aga mal logo dal tokoling mal beo tal system. Aga gidal program disruptor system rigid mong cloud tutrala tia ngil lo sisak kal merigid giradal mo gargi krinit to ko.
So cell disruption, was it related then akmadura che anso ng wasi tiya ko alam ni happen na cell time blue bela mamriga alam ni assign ra exchange of notes ra kampak tiya kalil ko ra outside element ko ra sorry el mga ra bela ul girel say. Is that any reaction to that?
Still amlaas nga radra media bebera blue makasing sedak mulway say eleng ngora coincidental. Hindi kita igel blabo dongel tial ransomware ko ko mesera sa ko tracing il el mora Malaysia ang area root sing mora Asina ma Russia serata last the visitor Taiwan at twice say there are 100,000 attacks they have every day mora government from China tia it's just their way of doing another type of harassment balubang tara mga madaluk ngari lang tanaw mo sing sil choice mungira de mo gargek ni wa the secure border again same situation again.
The last follow up for that every time President namin of personal fencing customs ang have a system ng education is getting the computers finance we and being in the security field myself I know the dangers. Is there some plans na government to start ramping up our backups? Because all our systems backup is the customs system backup by the schools, hospital. A lot of ransomware happens to hospitals around the world. So, are we doing anything to further protect the systems and our stuff?
Thank you for the question, Wak. This is a space that once you enter into automation and digital space, you will always have to continue to work on improving your security, improving your systems. So yes, we are not just looking at the systems that finance administers, which include the tax office, the customs, and we support many other systems like labor and even the hospital and the court. So we do take a global view on the overall security, and we have several initiatives that we're putting out to address some of the more current modern type of challenges that we will face. Cyberbullying, for instance, is not necessarily cybersecurity, but it is needs to be legally declared as a crime. Other administrative systems need to be developed to provide more cybersecurity coordination amongst us and our partners, because we are connected to the world. So yes, we are working on these as a matter of daily operations for not just Ministry of Finance but the Republic.
Vigoisase sirodangara JCM one project del rolo migila Miguel Girela really an assessment ra cybersecurity ra balwad and identify weak points and malasam al address and coming up with an overall plan. So ngari consultants that they will send us al marur say already ngari am lartialo kom na PNCC in marur aurora a PNCC and I say they found us a PNCC is actually in relatively good shape. By the say national government needs a lot of help. Eleng waigel mologo ngwak la kadong lo say oy adama system ni ma we have to look at it holistically and we have to have systems for backup. We got to store stuff on the cloud, remote locations, all of those things are set up by protocols. So long and we need I think for all these years we kind of look at the IT department, it's kind of a minor budget support. Unfortunately, we didn't add more budget in the supplemental, but I think it's an area that we need to expand our resources. We need to give them more resources. It has to be the whole of government. In one area.
And we need to also help the private sector and the general public from these risks.
Yeah.
Education.
I think I've exhausted the questions. For that topic.
So, more Alex. Okay. Sulang lay. Question lang kamo acting director ngira Blago. Ngarang a president tamle mention on kele Taiwan diver. Saya mo kwadi update kita waseng rakoram le ulam magtamal. Ang erung direk ngaring sel ngel dalal ngel buhi kele sel karyon naring rangat pang. Dalal ngel buhi kele milkaps. Ako ramla express ra kuk ang tilwa sel niya autopsy mang sebelang sa emel ko di away sirgit raktet talaga dito ng case igel sa emel sin mergit amsul
Sulay kambise ngel el diver el dirida atmal ndimle tuta tamamal el baql tamle surface el rogi lo masra ten rumida ang dua tak kamera ni mengima kai dalilu tel mo melara kamera yang dimlo digal lo dongali un tele reporter como digal betikring ida abartak awul matam le report mag tiar gi musik ndire dira sko gima marada osi
angkang redil sa
ndil 46 argil
de usted mal de una azul trigger rogul volunteer of course other marine law ngara si una azul PMA of course gal type sha mangaran
Smile Air
Smile Air ara gen usut trigger
Jangan aku regel passion.
onginyang
macam dia kalau mesti kita kurang update information dia kalau macam nak update
O inge virka mara laurol gidel mo ingel mladra hote. Hindi ka dira Taiwan.
Mr. President, kurang related dan mora tadi tu kurang pula polis saya ang kaya kita chief pati kami appointed dan mo active. First of all, how long is your appointment? Nani ako ra timeline kasi appointed lang mo
Hindi open.
So, Mr. President, tadi kira wasi with Levit nga rekil bela we maygal temporary appointments sa chiefs. Tergat ang kuati tangara di maintenance process alu mangani ako ra proactive plan ra Bureau of Public Safety ginala aurior ngurati change every week, so I'm assuming la si tergal adi optimal murulay kel ko day to day matters and then ngara ngani ako ra like a 6 month a year plan ra bla pulis ra ko ra management level with him not an island then kora ti akata para sa domestic to ngarian mo 15-20 days based on the memorandum was manage cycle day to day affairs para ti kera sa ngari ako ra plan lalo ngari this is going to be the way it's going to be more rest of this year.
Controlling, there's still a director. Tira ka bola ka director. Acting director adi implementer a plan that exists. Maigel reforms al doru, maigel al ukurar operations, al the trial improve. Aige malmol man al ngari. Namo tokol dosa din rasya au advantage ra sel opportunity ti al chiefs mara ukti al lieutenants and nos il mo director amastria te ala mata mesa te ala rangala aurora bla police even though they don't have the full responsibility klorang aral day to day operation angani maybe se look long term planning tirma directora at mga lororing hindi tel operations rabekal sils sa triga ang artel loror operations rabekal sils and that's the experience that we're building and eventually wayek tilong ako lang kalde al director sir almea de kal ngartial permanently do sigira adal mo fulfill tial responsibility mong tiang ukti tetelaurerer lo ko digita swadro sigira best al adal mo and build capacity from within mang model style bebera style and ding gumra sing it's effective akmara sulala achieve look mlang utian ngaral sure
question nga kamera minister mutul minister ang mahal ko ramlet lo news luwase how ma ara historical ambra dois el ngarnya iusira other bela ul blarsei kom la sai ngara agreement la palmei se almost mo dia tretel sei aigang mlamel iui sang muara tretel sei
man sulang malungi total mar adrogui wai se stia lumo lorior ala kalwedem le 2022 ngarnya pabiel derngak el mlara institution radois el Göttingen University lo aisel wase temlo o mesagel archiver tirem lo matigat mongania human remains en ngaragel gukora abebira artifacts el ngara sela gale museum bertir mongol mola al dadur segidi tulungit lo wasendia kame moduru klatara adal memel bol gora fellow el osu para tetere la galle del iuis Mamlornya aldadur al sela ministry aging ilti Mr. Michael Mudo ngagil oklurlek. Munso ka Bible tribals modi sel tretele la urior sela lomu ul medelang raw erak por sigil ko kumakalom so de la agreement. Kami Mr. Mudo kumura. As modi sel failure ka magil omsu ul blorngi.
Ani malngituta Mr. President malngituta marugulada akkoradi mo musada seguida tel project tra fellowship seguida me mentioninga minister tamle reach out tel mera belaw sa 2022 lo sigar trigel adal sorin murula research sa tel bulura katingen seguida tamlo sigar 6 fellows makno apply sa igit fellowship matingil tira di teterul adra Tanzania ma imol adra Cameroon ma imol adra New Zealand ma rekal nga kil kontera belaw so akno la balurado is 2 months el mo murula research el gel find out sing I gel using tamaral other belaw o nga tumle collector ngi ngam mlang purpose so seguido 2 months after kalmlo may sarabulura Michael Bebra Museum Michael Hamburg Archive SL Hamburg Archive tola Michael journal sa Agustin Kramer sel journal sa ringi ako knemetso sang oingeral tumle visit travel lang electrical EU is magi direct kalmlong mesagel malingel adal de kalobangge kaling of course ay kay tokorado isangel ada ko direct translate ringi magi direct follow base ay del publish del 7 volumes of Kramer so agi mo sab edel mitigas ang malanya 7 el use el nga sige del bulura katingen ngani sel imol el mutalwan el nga address 10 mo part del repatriation masele plaster mask imol mask ta musang mlaring sige del description sa kukura mada adrang sige del wan mask may gagida ukmal sige dem let 2 months ra research ra so I give le direct mlaring sige del planning for 2 years ma 2024 may ki direct na create delegations and mo visit tradois direct na sana sa higit cooperative agreement return na gali so
para di interested ra tel researcher ka ndo sabi mo pora amo badangel wasay tirkat tirkal tewi ng telar di telar sa tamaklo tamagreat sige del pora detail alo bang ari ang clear tirkan
I get information adim lang ang clear hindi tamla identify ngaringel imol adra ngar along tumlingi sire ngar along ya imol ko adra ngar sele imol use narabulura adresten tamla identify sindira kamera adra ngar base ra Miguel 4 direct kamera puluana Miguel 4 use sila southwest ya base ra age angel got tagyakare between 6 to 9 years old angel got class 60 years old
igang full skeletal system
da di skull mo ko ngani sel imol individual full skeleton angel baby la di skull
Nanya ngolol gidi.
Ngaram le reason it pakalekta bon sa arabe.
Halakkoramos po di say. During the ceremony, Blu Rado isamle admit at mutamle maghit. Emlaringi ay kal lulal iyu sa dimla kal ngaramaral teletele lo omong yu laklalo. Tadire kal mlo masaw talwasing kada kung magiging more context sa time. Sel time ang gorm lani aklol competition na Blura Europe at mutrata ako tamo ang erong mumleklo agora movement tertil mom subra blulat maigal EU silang ila da kadil EU serbelaw dire nga ni EU sa Micronesia mablul adrogir ma Africa klor nga nga Africa ma do Israel al time ako kurang nga revolution matokora malas engage lo bangela blulat el tral face up el mortegi del kukoram le pastor tir e malasem el lomok klamal terngi betem da du arogul bulul wasi kami made engage the boda ka wadanget pum langra dilu edo mesak mo kadam garang e kay ngase lolu tegal human remains el morabulumiu mang se ongoing project radois Aku tara mnabog la simul mergida abatak padangela way kagid el fellow scholarships el dakadi bolo suba use and regal mom suba gel kuk treasures tiram le collectors el time ra between 1900 el mongora 1910.
I-follow up with two questions ako ta pag-confirm say German government tamle agamit.
Yeah. Men nga do omte university again, kada mura context there's time se aigal EU sa milngay during expeditions funded by individuals malubong wara entities. Hindi akal sal mal se the link kanyin mura government tir. Hindi of course sa government tir all nga seul masawdr se gidra ta adrira mi rule kal to ko.
Kada expect tegal remains in meron nga.
Sige, ako ramle biyot luldo somak mo tatabong ang sedal dio turabak se check-in. Hindi gim lo matigin waseng nga niya bato tilang tingil tial lurior. Hindi ka dil biyot adol to bata. Mga sige dal university or lo bangela airlines ma transport companies nga niya pagpatingala paperwork marahil. Hindi tirikal di OI sel waseng niya tara le request ratar tergagi del adra polwanat pun se adal gora DNA tirkala ma babilnya kam lor sera mande lol ngi tertil mo se kam mome se punga tel se gid lorior yal sabe elem extracta DNA raw era al merbelaw e kasingile lore gadam matarata me ukte DNA ra da bela se adal ome se muterata lam le adra gel ma se lorior amra elam se bo mrak se gid e totura crate e se bodoma me ga expect ra late May mo later on sula
وضحال قدورة ملسادة تورا قال يويس عندين قرا مينستري التوريزم دي شغل موسيسل الجيرل تيال سي الملانغاري الجيرل تيال هذا من البق إذا هم دعنا سيقال تورا من البق لا دخل إذا ريسكي سيل باي قرا صاد الدي دخل دي هايلايت نيا بس سيل دو باي يقدر قريور إذا هذا بلا مال موت ما قرروه غاين سورة جاي إذا سي مقدمال يا وانا انت تيل بلو بس الاغناليجينيه شغل اغناليجينيه arrangers are state تيمال بول first on the sea the chief وي سي director acting director مقدمال من اسولا arrangers are state اي قرول سي غاني تيرا بلو نغارسي بلو سيورجيد من just shows راو كليسي الاورا are state ما partnership لو مغلا state راجيد المال مكرول جدا اوكمو البان من سولان nang sula gobernador ma director rangers ma tirugul staff tirugul rangers tira dirigan man na moy taklor tam nga sa tira adra marin dol nga siga suna
Dilas follow up sa liya. Ngirogul iyo same to kadam di gila pula na.
Kaya drogul bila sa ami. Hindi siya dekal bol ender talurior. Adir ka patok le sira kukim molding la bebera museum sa tukuk no mention of mga possibility ay ka patok ay ka maklon museum ngawak mong patok ay nga archive till even they don't know maulang direk tabayol ngitri gid mo bol patok ara adal gora ngat tagid el field el research et open asim gid el lol harar gid el mong emsube o mesep mong ngwanga tele lagi gid klalo e mal patok aklokle del direk el store dra al sela gid el museum.
A couple questions sa Kurawe Minister Utoy. Pablo mention na President na Lungaswil ako state rangers, especially keto na sig understand na nga rin sa may request na ako state malala loan mo nga sortir understand todo lo bang kemel kinil kinila loan through the national government, ADB. Sa kung nga status na rin, if it's going to.
Thank you, Lei, and I'm very happy to report an update. Thank you for reminding me. I have met previously with the governor and updated him separately. On my last trip, I was able to schedule a call with the Asian Development Bank and was able to negotiate the loan that we have been planning on receiving. It required actions on Palau's part, including Koror State's part, so it delayed the process a little bit, but I'm happy to report that I was able to negotiate the loan. The planned signing and disbursement is expected in May, and I will be updating the governor formally that this is the expectation. We cannot confirm any funding and an agreement to them until that loan is signed with the Asian Development Bank. But in the meantime, we can work on the actual document that we will be signing between ourselves once that funding is approved. So that should happen this year, and I understand they will be okay until then. So this is really support for the state for this year, and then next year we do expect to also support them again in this fashion.
Thank you, Minister. The follow up ko on a different matter. So kumisayel ko scholarships last year kabelment tamlo ko miyamle authorized through a supplemental budget mo yung para scholarship percentage short last year like requirement. Kumisayel nga rababeret they're looking at about 5 million this year based on the number of approved applicants. Mang kaya ilalbal pa sa compact nga niya ako ra plan funding through ra hindi kalngat ng supplemental budget nanti additional funding mo ra scholarship breakel tira ko ang matakan sa PBC balo sa second quarter.
Thank you, Lei, and I'm sure Minister of Education and the President may want to add to this, but we were able to negotiate continued assistance with the Pell Grant. So we are expecting that our people will still be eligible for this source of funds for school. But I think it's more important that we were able to get support from the United States to lower the cost of attendance. And I think that's probably more meaningful in terms of support for our students. We will continue to seek additional opportunities. There are quite a few scholarships that are being offered by institutions directly. While I was in Japan, I heard of at least 2 that are offering scholarships to Palauans to study in Japan. And maybe I can ask Minister Jenkins, because he is involved in some of the scholarship awards, and maybe you can mention the visit by Wichi and the Taiwanese program.
Okay. Sure. Thank you. Well, thanks for that. As you know, the government of Taiwan has been very generous in providing financial assistance to students to attend their colleges and universities, and many of those who have returned to Palau now are working. This year, we were very fortunate last week to provide interviews for all of the applicants for this year's scholarship, and we had 16 applicants, and so right now, there are 13 of the MOFA, which is the Ministry of Final Affairs, full scholarships for those students. The remaining 3 scholarships, the ambassador has kindly offered to negotiate with their offices and see if they can come up with some additional funding. It's a very rich and welcome opportunity for our kids. I'm very happy to hear that the Pell Grants have been renewed. That's a primary source of funding for our kids. Ultimately, we also have another source, which is very much of a quiet source, and that is through an organization known as the WICHI Group. WICHI stands for Western Interstates Commission on Higher Education. And it's a private organization that has gone to universities and colleges throughout the western United States, as far east as Montana, I think is their last one, and enrolled 170 colleges and universities to provide reduced tuition rates to students coming from WICHI member states, which Palau is a member. We joined membership last year, and thanks to the hard work of Delegate Gibbons and Senator Tabalwal. That's what we needed. They had needed to pass a resolution, and so we are a member state. This past year, we had 9 students receive WICHI assistance for a total of about $125,000 in tuition reduction for them. WICHI basically reduces tuition from international student rates to either resident rates or residence rates plus a small percentage. So it's a huge change, and hopefully it'll make a big difference to as the scholarship board goes through assessing the needs as more and more students become aware of the WICHI schools and apply to those schools. It may be able to, they can then reduce the total amounts from the rather large $40,000 for tuition in many schools to a much lower amount, and be able to spread that among more students. So those are real good possibilities, which we're hoping for. Thank you.
And just قاعد عليها كذا تل number 5 million تدخل بس النمبر تيا مقطع لو صادني scholarship. In fact, سيرادنا Senate, one of the issues يلون ترينا school أبلو لنلاقرا يقال funds الدوسبي. So if you recall, in Malaria time, there was a increase in labor fee. The collectory, also the increase in scholarship. In the end, the look at labor fee one must school. So if you look at the amount of the scholarship, it went up this year. More increase in other area. Dik pai was a pay what else? I got the real taras in Muradro Alvilo. Think about increasing a labor fee, loot increase although the mora a scholarship link. A moctegarida was a Michael although the may by help educator and again in my gallery. So it's there's a direct relationship. You know, you brought it up, Makase. I got a tell and see that other all be missing. Maybe it's time that we review that. Tell is it $125 a year or $250 for 2 years? And that makes sense. I mean, I'm reading 90,000 on H2 visa or, you know, Singapore $200 Raman the minister. You get $125 a year. So 150, sorry. 330 years. So anyway,
If I can,
way below what's normal, and by opportunity in Merida by improve not only scholarships, but we could use the money to help our CLW IOA program and other programs and close to Trill and get a level one. Sweden.
yeah, if I can add, we in the legislation that approved the compact, they do talk about in-state tuition for FAS citizens, and I thought that was valuable contribution by the United States, because we have been asking them for additional support, especially in key positions such as doctors and other specialist professionals. But we were also to bring Palau on the same page with the other FAS to allow our students and people to make it easier for them to get a job, because previously you had to register with Homeland Security. So in addition to the assistance, the lower cost of education, continued assistance to them, they are now able to get a job easier to support their studies while they're in school. So I thought that was a big achievement.
And one of the the congressman, even my Secretary of Defense, my Interior, my State, Blolo Maklat Kartilo as a Abayang Amara Cuba, free education. What are you doing for us? El help program lang ang ngama digel el sin maigal lungil school kami offer. So two things. One, ang namuni tel, of course, a Pell Grant, my in-state tuition. Yang dingari sel additional sel tora hersa. Se allow lo sel suma ngal or underdeveloped area, and they're eligible for scholarships, especially in the medical field. Matsum to toktang. So ngari abelsin sil forgive. Se diri kan mo allow ang liga del letset ngaram brigila so il mutan merbelaw. They will have debt forgiveness other opportunities among siluk tora medical field. It's going to create more opportunities. Hopefully, more school more medical school. I mean, nursing and all those areas. So Yeah, sulang.
Malilas de Presidente, el question again at kami mention el program malas mala information at tiga ng veterans ngar belaw mga rekel belaw ngari nga ako ra ko aldo bang kala US military was provide official information palo bang kada depend that other reach out to you
Nga siya dal malara US military di kita muna sa tiga lista del US citizens. I see. Malsum lista del US citizens ang ada hindi kasi drunga amran number. So diri ko to get the word out and information on me. Le kumyam de mostrar ang kita detail gibet mo US citizens ang ara sold out mo. They make them sign. So
Silver Bella will recruit most of the other Bella, so I would assume la singara.
oh, siya yung usul original list.
Yeah.
Hindi diri ka bato karang lagi dal dingar ay gelbe brablo etmo. And we want to count all of them. Alin dia kadil tigel blal recruiter tigel na rakwame mong material ngari ang algir. One of the things that I guess we want to share that's coming up in May. Ngari tarang algel belal he will be the first full bird colonel. He will be Colonel Owens. I give you a detail, but hopefully mo siya attend the ceremony in May sir po para Washington. So, yeah, of course, family rebels. Yeah, so, yeah. Narad. You know, and we want to recognize them, and we want everyone. Lo ay seguido kasi agi solda, and of course al US al Palawan, it doesn't matter. Sel ngaria ansa street tin merbela bukas ngaria tay street solil mutel merbela se hace de lo justify moram regalo hace tiga monia time tel mutel me we have to have the services ngara ablur belal helper tir.
Medikas karon the question ra director Director, malgora to ka complaints na asram umar sales na say tuang todo na mo itra ka men kinala ul masura develop pa igal sales sa mga rakto hindi ko kurang sa tokol adra bluet namosori del Namo start the detail take law into their own hand to protect them from the sulase. O hindi ka lumdas tukulas hindi ka sa belay kan hindi ka katalegal case report the corabla police resolve. Ngara ko ra real kinel say namin sa isense. Ngara ko ra ngara corabla police no masura.
Yang amal aklo ng girel mo yang tirigal dir kom no office ma next press conference or ng CBL po ng me always.
You're Messiah.
I'm saying the truth. Hindi ka President tanga tinakal mal total el concern na maasaling anyar other ready lo trawa Bureau of Agriculture mara kukaul $2 a pound. Mal excited tinakal maasal tiram la spend 6-7 months and spend out all the marula Master City selobong ra quick before and completely wiped out. Understand ngiwa la tinakal manekul activity nila last month or bang tatol adam la as tira klase kam chaka bla police wa sa ikal issues ang kire ka mama man mo sorry start to take the law into their own hands.
Ngari suspect ngari
Everybody has a suspect but it's hard to say.
okay.
Ano ito
Hindi ako umila.
complaint till filed. Lang bato karma asan dari luk me malukor nga kaluk tel huk to kara labor.
Yeah.
Maari ka kung le file a complaint. Lang umsin lit dito ko din dim lakal problem bulus actually file a complaint.
Terigal la mga tutuan nga kasi tamli ako lar police. Mga sumunto ko lar police ang masungin unless required din mabla police file a complaint and that's a different thing. Teka makasi na o they can do at equal complaint kasi tira at least 3 cases that I know tamli ko lar police matamlo matako ay sa kilo sa ngaram happen namang maybe talaman la siya sing ay I hope and sabihin nga niya follow up rin mal mo upset
Okay. Yeah, Girel, file a police report.
May halap ko follow up rin.
Sulang. Sige dahil, information na dablo may aklaw tutirel mo. Sulang. Habang ako. Oh, the job. Otherwise, yung kurang na umrektial press conference rin kita, namo tatsigang madaringel. Kung sulal, kung maklorong mo, kada utang ang rogoy. Meron silsing April 10. So dahil mo recognize it, October Eral Sils. So happy birthday. And more Listerson John. Kangara airport obiyang. Okay. Ngara David Yuri. Gadiri kangara road and equipment. NPII. Gadiri kal Proline and Butulda. Ngara lenden survey. Tiyo ko din ngara minister ka obiyang. Teme dal ngara. Ngari amra other yung ngara budget and finance. Edre ka lastly ngari kabang ngirak lang ngara Bureau of Health Services ngara ancillary services. Happy birthday Mortir, congratulations. Adios salam kaltangat ra bekla other belaw mabalo other blue belaw mauk next el bodagas wes. That would be a kita mo sora mga kapag do press conference. Sige ta schedule kita girel. So kada kayo kra sora ko. Sula.